Question 2, Janet Finch-Saunders.
What steps, thank you, is the Cabinet Secretary taking to ensure that support is accessible to university students with suicidal thoughts?
We expect higher education institutions to put learners' needs at the centre of the system to protect their mental health and well-being. There is a range of mental health support available to students, which is provided by universities, the third sector and NHS health services.
Okay, thank you for that. However, I think it's fair to say sometimes things go wrong and it's how they're picked up and lessons learned going forward. I, by chance, met the parents the other day of married folks. The grieving parents, they're still grieving now after the shocking scenario there where the wrong exam results were given and she lost her life as a result. I'm aware of the consultation on the strategic plan of the Commission for Tertiary Education and Research. As it states in the plan, terms and conditions of funding will become the vehicle through which we exercise our regulatory powers. Now, what upset me was the parents are working very hard right now to ensure this doesn't happen to anybody else. And so they've written a paper. They've distributed that paper to Parliament, every member of Parliament, every member of this Senedd. The response, however, has not been great. I just find it unbelievable that somebody could write in pointing out their own evidence of what they've come across. Even Cardiff University has been accused by the parents, and they've said, I can raise it here today, of a lack of compassion, of lack of responses to what happened to Married. There is a young lady who will not see the life that she should have had, and lessons have to be learned from a situation like this. So what steps are you taking to cooperate with the Cabinet Secretary for Education to ensure that every university in Wales has stronger measures in place to care for those with mental health issues, to ensure that wrong results for exams never, ever happen again, and that I just find this really difficult. You know, this is a death that could have been prevented, and lessons have to be learned. And I would just reach out to Cardiff University using this forum. Please respond to this family. Work with them to ensure that no other university in Wales, or in fact the UK, loses a student in this way. Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much, Janet Finch-Saunders. And you are right, this was a preventable death that should not have happened. My thoughts are with Married's parents who have written to Welsh Government and have, in the interim, whilst we prepare the response, have been written to by my Welsh Government officials as well to really thank them and acknowledge them for all the work that they continue to do to make sure that, as you said, this never happens again. I'd also like to point out that the Cabinet Secretary for Health now, in his role as Cabinet Secretary for Education, met with the family, met with Mr and Mrs Folks to discuss this as well and to kind of assure them true that this will absolutely make a difference. I am now responsible for the suicide and self-harm prevention strategy that will be coming out in the new year. I can assure you that what they have shared has played a huge part in this. I've also met with my colleague, the Minister for HE and FE, as well in the last few weeks to really, I mean, it's the first question that we discussed. How do we ensure that these things don't happen? How do we ensure that students, when they're usually away from home, have the support that they really need? And that's, I think, always a worry for parents, always a worry. In terms of Cardiff University, they have now put themselves forward to be part of a UK-wide research project, which will be looking at what interventions really make a difference. It's being led by Exeter University. I'm really pleased to see that they have put themselves forward for this, I think, acknowledging that they really need to learn from this and see what works. But you are right, we have got the Tertiary Education Act now, we do have the Meadow project, there will be funding going towards it, but we also expect to see results and we expect for this not to keep happening. Diolch.